Behar, Ideas in the Realm of Gematria, from the Parshah and Daf Yomi for the Geulah. This is article number 13. This week, the magical Gematria number is 207. What is so special about 207, you may ask? 207 is the numerical value of the name of our Parshah, which is Behar. This is the same numerical value as, and in fact the very same letters as, a famous Amora, which is a rabbi and teacher in the times of the Gemara by the name of Rabbah. This is the Amora by the name of Rabbah bar Nachmani, and is referred to throughout the Talmud simply as Rabbah. He is probably one of the most frequently mentioned Amoraim in the Talmud, after Abaya and Rava. Maybe not the third, but right up there. So to simply connect his name through Gematria based on this Parsha of Behar alone would not be as meaningful without our daily daf of Gematria 86a occurring in this Parsha of Behar, telling an unusual and significant story about the way that he passed. This is the story that is told on Bava Metzia 86a, which is Friday's daf. Rav Kahana said, Rav Chama, son of the daughter of Chasa, told me that Rabbah bar Nachmani died due to the fear of a decree of religious persecution. The Gemara explains his enemies accused him of disloyalty in the king's palace, as they said, "There is one man from among the Jews who exempts 12,000 Jewish men from the king's head tax 2 months a year, 1 month in the summer and 1 month in the winter, since many would study in Rabbah's study hall during the months of Adar and Elul. And he was being blamed for preventing those people from working during those months. They sent a messenger of the king after him, but he was not able to find him. Rabbah bar Nachmani fled and went from Pumbedita to Accra, from Accra to Agma, from Agma to Shehin, from Shehin to Serifa, from Serifa to Eina Demayim, and from Eina Demayim back to Pumbedita. Ultimately, he was found in Pumbedita, right where he started, as the king's messenger arrived by chance at that same inn where Rabbah bar Nachmani was hiding. The inn attendants placed a tray before the messenger and gave him 2 cups to drink. They then removed the tray from before him, and his face was miraculously turned backward, an expression of becoming possessed by demons. The attendants said to Rabbah bar Nachmani, "What should we do with him? He is the king's man, and we cannot leave him like this." Rabbah bar Nachmani said to them, "Place a tray before him and give him 1 cup to drink, and then remove the tray from before him, and he will be healed." They did this, and he was healed. The messenger said, "I am certain that the man I seek is here, as this unnatural event must have befallen me on his account." He searched for Rabbah bar Nachmani and found out where he was. The messenger said that they should tell Rabbah bar Nachmani, "I will leave this inn and will not disclose your location. Even if they will kill that man," meaning him, "even if they will kill me," he was making reference to himself, "I will not disclose your location. But if they will whip me, I will disclose your whereabouts, as I cannot bear being tortured." Unfortunately, others eventually did manage to find Rabbah. While this messenger did not, others did find Rabbah, and he was brought to be judged. They took him into a small vestibule and closed the door before him. Rabba bar Nachmani prayed for mercy, and the wall crumbled. He fled and went to hide in a swamp. He was sitting on the stump of a palm tree and studying Torah alone. At that moment, the sages in the heavenly academy were disagreeing with regard to a halacha of leprosy. In general, a leprous spot includes two signs of impurity: a bright white spot, baharis, and a white hair, a se'ar lavan. The basic halacha is that if the snow-white leprous sore, the baharis, preceded the white hair, then the afflicted person is ritually impure. But if the white hair preceded the baharit, he is pure. The heavenly debate concerned a case of uncertainty as to which came first, the spot or the hair. The Holy One, blessed be He, says the individual is pure, but every other member of the heavenly academy says he is impure. And they said, who can arbitrate in this dispute? They agreed that Rabba bar Nachmani should arbitrate, as Rabba bar Nachmani once said, I am preeminent in the halachot of leprosy, and I am preeminent in the halachot of ritual impurity imparted by tents. They sent a messenger, in other words, the angel of death, from heaven after him to take his soul up to the heavenly academy. But the angel of death was unable to approach Rabba bar Nachmani, as his mouth did not cease from his Torah study. In the meantime, a wind blew and howled between the branches. Rabba bar Nachmani thought that the noise was due to an infantry battalion about to capture him. He said, let that man, meaning me, die, and not be given over to the hands of the government. The angel of death was therefore able to take his soul. As he was dying, he said in response to the dispute in heaven, it is pure, tahor, tahor. A divine voice emerged from heaven and said, happy are you, Rabba bar Nachmani, as your body is pure and your soul left you, with the word pure. A note fell from heaven and landed in the Academy of Pumbedita. The note read, Rabba bar Nachmani was summoned to the heavenly academy. In other words, he had passed away. Abai and Rava and all of the other rabbis went out to tend to his burial. However, they did not know the location of his body. They went to the swamp and saw birds forming a shade and hovering over a certain spot. The rabbi said, we can conclude from this that he is there. The rabbis lamented him for 3 days and 3 nights. A note fell from heaven, upon which was written, anyone who removes himself from the lamentations shall be ostracized. Accordingly, they lamented him for 7 days. Another note fell from heaven stating, go to your homes in peace. And this is where we'll end the story, although it continues on in a different place, but we'll end it here. A fascinating parallel to this week's Parshah is that Behar talks all about different series of sevens. 7 years of sabbatical, Shemitah years, Shemitah cycle, and then 49 years, this 7 times 7, which is the Yobel or Jubilee cycle. It is interesting that Rabbah, letters of Behar, was lamented for 7 days. My guess is that this is separate from the usual Shiva for family and friends, otherwise they would not need a heavenly voice to spend an extra 7 days lamenting. Another interesting connection is that according to the story, Rabbah's soul left with the words tahor, tahor, pure, it is pure. This may indicate that he was hearing the voice of a Kadosh Baruch Hu in the story, for it was Hashem who in the story said that in the case of uncertainty, it is ruled as pure. In Gematria, the words tahor, tahor have a numerical value of 440, which is the exact numerical value of the words lishmoa, which means to hear, suggesting that Rabbah had indeed heard the voice of the Absolute in the ruling of, it is pure, it is pure. Have a great Shabbos.